Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming today. This is our first meeting of the month, November. I call this meeting to order. Please.
Alderman Chapman,
Present.
Alderman Bradford, Alderman Wilson, Alderman Dubrow,
Present.
Alderman Bastrop,
Present.
Alderman Chestnut,
Here.
Alderman Leonard.
Here.
And Mr. Wilson's not on the call, so we do have a quorum.
Gentlemen, we have the agenda in front of us. There's a couple of adjustments we need to make to the agenda. Adding item consent agenda 4.9. You have a copy of it in front of you, which is a Mississippi Power docket for claims. And we would add executive session, item 4.5.4, 4.7, 5.7, executive session for personnel, 5.4 items through 5.7. And we will also add to the main agenda 5.12, which is an employee, a part-time police employee. Is there any other items on the consent agenda that board member wish to move down? Or any discussion on the main agenda?
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
The motion by Alderman Chapman and second by Alderman Leonard to approve the minutes with the adjustments. All in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Alderman Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, it's my esteemed honor to present to some and introduce to others a not so new minister in our community. He has been here now for 2 years.
Yes.
And I've contacted him in the past. He's a very busy young man, and I finally got a chance to bring him before our city to get you appointed with him. He is, as I said, not so new pastor of First Christian Church here in Moss Point, and he comes to us by way of Macedonia Baptist Church in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, under Dr. Trotter. So he's well versed in Christian education and teaching. He loves to teach. I may have to call him down tonight, but I've sat in with he and his brotherhood in their brotherhood meeting. Breakfast. Enjoyed meeting him, and I think you will feel the same. Would you please join me with a round of applause and welcome to our community, Pastor Eddie Johnson, First Christian Church, Moss Point. Yes, sir.
Right in front.
At the podium, facing the group.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, Dr. Johnson. I bring greetings from First Christian Church. We are located at 4336 Magnolia Street, right here in Boston. Brother Chapman told me I had 3-4 minutes, so Brother Chapman started waving at me in 3 minutes, and I'll find a place to land. Amen. Let's take over the story. There was this man from the Midwest. And the man from the Midwest, he decided to go into the mountain to do a little jogging. So when the man from the Midwest started to do a little jogging, he was way up in the mountain. And somehow, how you doing, sister? Somehow in the middle of jogging, he slipped and he fell off the side of the mountain. He's fighting and screaming and hollering, and he grabs a branch. And he holds on to this branch. And he looks down, it's about 100-foot drop. And he's screaming and hollering, he was by himself. And then lo and behold, here are the voice. Say, John, this is Jesus. And he hollered, he said, Lord, is that you? Yes, it's me. He said, John, let go of the branch. And John looked around and looked again and said, is there anybody else? In the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 5, it says, behold, I am the Lord God, and there is none else. There's no other God beside me. In other words, is there anybody that goes to church? Is there anybody, it's okay, you can shake your head up and down, or you can wink at me. Is there anybody that can get a prayer through? It's okay, it's okay. Is there anybody that reads their Bible? Yeah. Okay, let me help you out. In 2 Corinthians, Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14 says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. Come on now, somebody know that. What's wrong with our community? We need God's people. We need the city council. We need our community to come on one accord. Because we have a community that has more dope in their veins than hope in their brain. We have a community that's shooting up each other. We need God's people to come together. If we have good godly people to come together, who can come together? We have a community that's crying out like that man. Help! These things, if we as a people can't hear that cry, it's too late. When they go to jail or on their way to hell, it's too late for them. We have a community that's crying out. County members, city fathers, leaders, ever. Are we going to answer the call? If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and heal Moscow and heal Pascagoula and heal Gulf of Biloxi and the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's up to us. The ball is in our court. But the thing we cannot do as a people, we can't do like the New Orleans Saints and fumble the ball. We can't do like the Atlanta Falcons and fumble the ball. We got to hear God's call as a community, as a city, and as the Mississippi Gulf Coast as a whole. Because if one fall, we all fall. Let's see them, sit down. Because I really believe a saved community is a safe community. God bless you, and I thank you for the time.
Thank you, Pastor. Please stand for the pledge.
Appreciate it.
And to the republic, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We're down to the presentation. We have no presentation this evening. We're down to public comments. I have two listed here, Mr. Dan Vance, Steve Vance, please.
Mayor, just, I'm gonna harp just for a little bit on the public works thing. I don't know if exactly where we're at with that, but with the final signing and veto there, I know there's a couple days left there. But I do want to point out one thing out of the RFP there, that looks to be problematic there. And out of the RFP, it states that, it stated very specifically that the mayor and council may enter into discussions with proposals, who submit proposals determined to be reasonably susceptible of being selected for the award. That happened. So, no problem there. I don't think there's a real issue there. But then it says, will negotiate with the proposal whose original proposal has the highest score. And that's coming off of the selection committee. So, I mean, I feel like that may be problematic. I feel like, you know, some stories may need to be together whenever depositions start based on that. And then I want to talk about the resolution that was passed in favor at the last special call meeting, really quick. That resolution, the one thing in there that kind of stood out to me, and it stated, continuity of service. And I just want to point out that, yes, Clearwater was, you know, the public works contractor, but the water plant, that's a 5 million gallon per day water plant, that was H2O, and they've been running that plant for 16 years. So, you know, as far as continuity of service goes, you know, you got public health, United States Public Health Service, a water system is way more problematic when it comes to having problems with the public health department than any other part that currently has. So, you know, so as far as continuity goes, you know, 16 years running a water plant versus 9 running that, I think may be a bit of a problem. But that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vance. Christian Hartley.
Good evening.
Evening.
Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, bless you.
My name is Christian Hartley, 3210 Market Street, Pascagoula, Mississippi. You know, since the pastor did bring up church and he brought up hell and he brought up a couple of things, I'm pleased to let you know that on February 3rd, 2014, I repented of my sins and put my faith in the blood of Jesus Christ. And that is the one thing that makes a difference in my life. But I come to you all before today, I come in peace. This is all good tidings. I'm the president of Cadence Bank in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Cadence Bank is the largest Mississippi-based organization. We have a 9-state footprint and right at $50 billion in assets. And a few of you are the entire city council, city clerk, the attorney should have received an invitation to our grand opening celebration, which is going to be Thursday, this upcoming Thursday, November 6th, from 4 to 6 p.m. And this is just my friendly reminder of just letting you all know how glad we are to finally be here in East Jackson County. Cadence's mission is to help people, communities prosper. And we are new to the East Jackson County area, but we're not new to the banking business. And we look forward to doing business with you all. So this is just my reminder of your invitation, and I would love to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. We do not have anyone else for comments. But let me just ask, does anyone else want to have any comments? All right, we're down to the consent agenda. Pleasure of the board, item 4.1 through 4.9. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Alderman Chapman, second by Alderman Wilson, to accept the consent agenda, which is item 4.1 through 4.9. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Main agenda item 5.1, attorney.
Main agenda item 5.1 is approve a decline request for the Ida Zeta Drainage Study Project R-006-268-02-ZMP, cash number 3 in the amount of $58,375, and authorize mayor to execute same for Development Authority submitted by Tricia Thigpen, city clerk.
Motion to approve.
Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderman Chastain,
Yes.
a second by Alderman Chapman. Are there any questions? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Next item, 5.2, approve a decline of request for the Ida Zeta Emergency Drainage Project R-006-268-01 CMP, cash number 3, in the amount of $7,640, and authorize mayor to execute same for submission to Mississippi Development Authority, submitted by Tricia Thigpen, city clerk.
Motion to approve with the one question.
Alderman Chapman, you got a question?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I'm just curious as if these are reimbursable. I know it's two different disbursements, but are they reimbursable at the same time?
With these, Mr. Chapman, so Felicity, who is our administrator on this project, after the mayor signs, we'll submit it to MDA. Once they approve it, we have 3 days, they'll put the money in that specific account that's designated for this project, and then we cut the check out of that. So it's a little bit different than other reimbursements that we have. We actually get the money first and then cut the check.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
There's a motion by Alderman Chapman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Dubose. Question? Wilson?
Well, as I said,
I'm sorry, never mind.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Next item, 5.3, approve decline an amendment to the agreement between City of Moss Point and T-Mobile South LLC to allow T-Mobile South LLC to rent, locate, and operate a temporary antenna facility at 3801 Palmetto Street, Moss Point, Mississippi, from November 1, 2025 until October 31, 2026, at a monthly rate of $1,200, submitted by Mayor Billy Knight Sr.
Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
Motion by,
Alderman Bradford,
Second. Second.
is that moved by?
it was made by Alderman
Alderman
Bradford.
Bradford? Second by
Second.
Leonard? Chastain?
Yes.
Any questions?
One question is
Yes.
there a utility study required on that location? Or can you answer that? Richie? Utility? Make sure we do a locate before they.
There is no digging. The antenna is actually attached to the tower, the water tank. So it's no digging involved.
Right, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it.
Next item is 5.4, 5.5, 5.6. This session. 5.8, approve decline request to hire Terrence Hyde as a contractual host for Parks and Recreation programs and events, submitted by Donna Joseph, Director of Parks and Recreation.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Chapman. Second. Alderman Chastain? Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it.
Next item, 5.9, approve decline request to hire Golden Productions to manage the Pelican Landing Center, submitted by Donna Joseph, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Question?
Motion to approve. Well, I had a question.
no, after a second, we know that.
Oh,
Joseph, shoot.
Ms. Joseph?
Alderman Chastain, you had a question?
Yes, I would just like for you to come up and just let everybody be aware of what's going on with that project, where people can understand what's happening.
Sure. Good evening, Mayor and Board. To give you a little background on this, the proposal, the recommendation for this particular agency. We started out with the employee process and looking for a manager to manage the Pelican Landing Company. In that employee process, we did the solicitation for applicants. We got 3 applicants. We were hoping that we'll be able to get somebody local
Neither of the three applicants were local, but in that process, we found that there was not a sufficient match in the employee process to be able to manage with our expectations. And so the recommendation was to explore a contractual angle, and that's how it led us here today, with doing a request for proposals for now those who would come in on a contractual side to be able to do the same exact thing as an employee would do in managing the Sue Ellen, in managing Pelican Landing Conference Center. So in that process, we only got one proposal. Again, we were hoping that we would at least get, somebody local that we would be able to engage in and begin the negotiations. But we did get at least one contract. And that contract, that proposal proved to be something that we could take a look at in terms of negotiating up or down whether or not they would match. So what we're getting though as a bonus versus what we saw in the employee process was limited in terms of experience and expertise. And we're looking at someone to not only just come in and manage the day and booking events. We wanted to get somebody who could actually come in and then have that revenue generating component, someone who could add in a marketing component, and that's what we got. We got a bonus in getting this proposal, and it actually does just that. It also has an equipment component. In the event that we want to enhance our city events, there is an equipment component that comes into play with this particular proposal. So that's just a little bit of background of how we got here today. We did have a selection committee, and we went through the employee process and then shifted over to the contractual process. And so that led to how we got here today with this request.
Ms. Donna, how much is this gonna cost the city total?
The 62.7 is what that particular line item calls for. So again, you have the employee side with the employee plus benefits be in that same line item. So this just simply just replaces that in the contractual person with the 62.
What about the $13,000
That's not,
location fee?
the relocation is not included in the contract.
It's not?
It's not being considered.
Okay, I'm just asking because I'm see here there's some things that they're expecting the city to cover as far as expenses. Where do we get the funding for this?
So the Pelican Landing budget does have the employee component in it, so no other expenses are being considered, just that employee angle. And so that's why I matched, if it were an employee that we were looking at, a city employee with salaries plus benefits, it's the same proposal for the contractor. It's basically, this is what we have available, that employee amount for that 62.7. And so we're negotiating that now, but at least that's what was offered.
So the page that I'm referring to, it says that we'll be responsible for paying supplemental staff for operating equipment. City will provide new event management software along with a new laptop computer. City will ensure building improvements are completed within 30 days upon GPI's initial contract start date. I'm just trying to find out where the funding is going to come for this.
So we won't change any of those specifics. They will be the same whether or not it will be with this contractor or not. So the funding for operations, all of that is already in the budget. Funding for repairs, maintenance, that's already in the budget. So whether or not it will be an employee or a contractor, those things are already budgeted for the maintenance.
Do you have the budget? Do you have the budget?
Yes, in the Pelican Landing budget, under repairs and maintenance.
Any further questions?
Man, I spoke with you today, Ms. Donna, but when I hung the phone, I thought about something. I didn't see in the package a background check, credentials, past work performance, things that they had operated and actually ran. And do you have that?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we have an extensive portfolio that they provided to us. I mean, it's this thick portfolio with some of the past experience, some of the other events that they've managed, some of the other day-to-day venues that they've managed. That looks like what we're looking for in a Pelican Landing management system, and so they do have that credential.
Just something Alderman Wilson was talking about. That $13,000 relocation money, You said it's coming out your budget?
It's not considered, no, we're not.
Yeah, we couldn't pay that. That's in our proposal. We wouldn't be allowed to do that. They could, that's off the table.
So they understand that.
They do. Yes, they've already been people here.
So in other words, Ms. Joseph, if we accept this, it's from a year to year basis. You know, if we accept it and don't like it, in a year's time, we can cancel. We can terminate easily after a year,
There
right?
is a termination clause.
Well, the period in the drafted contract, and just so everybody will know, once the proposal came in, Ms. Donna got with me and we put together a proposed contract. The contract is a 3-year term, but you have a 60-day, can cancel it with 60 days notice without cause. And so, for example, in the termination, it says either party may terminate this agreement with 60 days written notice. And of course, the city may terminate immediately for cause in the event that this company has a material breach, negligence, or failed to perform adequately. So the termination clause, even though they're proposing a 3-year contract, and just so everybody will know, in their proposal, there's a cost index, similar to what's currently in some of the other contracts, that would go up at the end of the anniversary. That's in there. So if you look at that contract, the first year is 67, year 2, that would go up by 5% under their, and again, this was what was drafted to give Ms. Joseph to negotiate with them. But it is a 3-year term, but you can terminate it without notice on 60 days notice.
So basically, we could, 6 months down the road, even if we decide we don't like it, we give them 60 days notice, we could terminate it. Mayor, I like, one thing I noticed is it said two full-time employees, Monday through Friday. So at that price, even though there's several other things, probably 10 or 12 other items that are included in the price, just the 2 full-time employees, that's a good deal. If you consider what we would pay for a direct employee with benefits and everything, we'd probably pay close to 100 for both of them total, if you included all the what do you call it, Denise, fully loaded, if it was fully loaded, even if we were paying a full-time person only $35,000 a year, once you add benefits and all that to that, it would be more than $62,700. I think it's a good deal.
Let me just say, did you have a question?
No, I spoke with Miss Joseph earlier, and really it was about a profit component. It was just that, this, that the Pelican Landing had been gaping for as not making money. And what we wanted to be able to do is see, and really about the funding as well, but for the most part, it was using a part of the 2% that was the 5% allocated for leisure and as well as tourism. And to bring that in, I attended an event that the Goldens had in Atlanta. And it was a well put together event. And I say that respectfully because they had vendors from here to yonder, and they had, just everybody in place, and it was a well-organized and well-secured event. So again, unlike Moss Point, this was a very affluent area, but, nevertheless, it was a real organized event, and I seen where they made money, or made the school district, I think, because they gave this money to the school district, where it was a real profitable situation. So I asked her about the profit side of this, because what we want to be able to do is see this move in a different direction. And, I just had to gain some understanding from that side of it. So she explained to me, what we were looking at, and I just wanted to add that little piece to it.
Mr. Mayor, if I might, I also spoke with Joseph, and I was fortunate enough to sit in on Mr. Golden's presentation. It was impressive, but, I'm comfortable. 1 year contract with we talked about a strong, very strong provision for, extending the contract or cancellation, a very strong provision for cancellation, and you seem to have addressed that. But, with a 1 year component, man, it's something we've never done before, and I just want to learn to see if it fits us. Or if it's a yellow brick road or a highway to hell. I just want some time for us to absorb it and see if it works for us. That was my only concern.
Mayor, I had made a motion to approve it.
I second. Okay, thank you for the discussion. I just want to mention that, since I've been here since 21, we've advertised 3 different times for someone to manage that facility. I want us to have this discussion because we need to take our time and make sure we know what we're getting, because at some point, if we don't get someone to manage that facility, we're gonna be coming back after you to close it down. Because one of the items on here, the agenda, is to refund some money to some of the citizens that use it, because some of the things just was not done properly there because of lack of good management. And until we get some good management up there, we're gonna keep losing money. At the same time, getting bad publicity because people are criticizing us because it's not ran properly. So if you all know somebody, if you want us to go back out and advertise again, if anybody locally can do this work, then let us know that. Because we have not been able to find anybody in our area, and I'm saying on the Gulf Coast, in particular on Moss Point, that has the management skills to do that and market it to try to generate funds each time we've advertised for it. That's what we've been looking for. Someone that has those skills that also can manage it as well as market it to get more resources coming in. Because we're tied to HUD. It's a HUD building, and we're tied to the HUD regulations with that building. So any other discussion on that, or?
Mayor, we have a motion in a second, but I was just gonna say, you could advertise again and find an individual, but I really like what this package brings to the table for the price. You get a lot more bang for the buck. If they perform what they're saying they can do, and we put it on a 1 year basis or whatever, and we just see how it works, I think if it works like this, it'll be a win for us, I believe, to go.
I'm supporting it. And Don and I have done back and forth about it, but I'm just leaving it open that I believe this will work. We're not tied to it forever. You can get out of it if you need to, but I'm leaving it open. But this is the best opportunity we've had since I've been here.
Oh,
Yeah.
You had a motion by Leonard,
Is there a
Alderman.
motion?
Yes, sir.
Alderman Lennon made a motion.
And Bavastro's
so that's your second.
Who said it again?
Victor seconded.
Mr. Bavastro? We made a motion by
Alderman Leonard,
Lennon and seconded by Alderman Bavastro. Is there any other discussion? Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it.
Next item, 5.10, approve and decline a request to advertise for a coffee shop vendor at the Welcome Center, submitted by Donna Joseph, Director of Parks and Recreation.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Chapman, second by Alderman Wilson. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I would ask Ms. Dunn about the Welcome Center. What is the bathroom hours out there?
I'm sorry.
What is your bathroom hours out there? Because I went out on the pier, the fishermen, they wanna know about the facilities being open for them. And, are they open from what time?
They are open during the regular day hours. They have been closed when we had the repairs. We did close them for just a little bit when we did the repairs to the restrooms. But yeah, they are open during the regular day hours,
Oh, okay.
all the rest of the evening. Yes, sir.
Any other question?
I just said, you got night fishing going on.
You have a motion and a second, and now we're up for discussion, further discussion, Penny.
That was just a question.
No other question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Item 5.11, approve or decline a request to issue a rental refund to Megan Denmark Bar in the amount of $450 submitted by Donna Joseph, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Motion to approve with a comment if you need it, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Chapman and second by Alderman Wilson. This is the item I was referring to, that one of our citizens had a wedding up there and was not happy with the accommodations, and they're requesting half of their money back. Well, not quite half, but requesting $450. So, any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have it.
Final item on the main agenda, other than the items for executive session, is item 5.12, approve a decline a request to hire certified officer Donathan Myers as part-time police officer submitted by Dennis Stevenson, interim chief of police.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderman Wilson,
Second.
second by Alderman who?
Leonard?
Leonard. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That concludes the main agenda, Mr. Mayor, and there are no items for discussion under 5.12. I will note under 5.13, we will need a motion to close session to determine a need for executive session. So move.
Motion by Alderman Wilson. Second by Alderman Dubose. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mayor, on the amended agenda, the board has before it executive session regarding police personnel. But had been waiting on some information, which I have now. And so I'm going to add potential and pending litigation. I just need to briefly update y'all on some items that I've just got information on that I did not have prior to this meeting. So that's the purpose of going into executive session. So if that meets with the board's approval, I would need a motion to enter executive session to discuss police department personnel along with potential and pending litigation.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Wilson, second by Alderman Chapman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I would mention to the public that we're going to vote on these officers when we come back. We're just going to discuss it. When we come back, we are going to vote on these issues if you want to stay around for that.
Yeah, after the executive session, those items will be backed up for a vote back to the main agenda.
Okay.